Audi India had an eventful 2022. Alongside newer models, the company also improved its portfolio, especially in the premium compact SUV space.
For 2023, Audi has upped the game of the Q3 SUV and introduced a much more sportier, a much more snazzier version of the car in the form of the Q3 Sportback. Now, if you can see, it has a lot of exciting elements to it, but for all this, you will have to shell out a bit more extra. How much extra is not the question. The question is, should you consider this car over the standard version of the Q3? Now, the entire purpose of the Q3 SUV was to attract younger and more affluent buyers to the brand. With the Q3, the company did achieve that, and with the Sportback, the company is trying to add a bit more character, a bit more flavor to the range. Obviously, I really like how that SUV coupe look gives an entirely new character to the car. It also adds to their entire road presence. And mind you, Audi has not just played around with the body style, but they've also added the S-line package to the deal.
But to adapt this frame, the SUV had to drop its roofline, increase width and add to its length to look sexy and practical, of course. A redesigned front section has the S-line styling written all over it, and the result is quite fresh and modern. The inside is quite identical of the standard version of the Q3, albeit a few tweaks. It surely has the vibes of the elder Q8. The black and brown or even the optional black and white theme feels quite fancy. An upright dashboard, Audi's virtual cockpit is standard, and you get a 10.1-inch center display and a 12.3-inch driver's display. Conventional knobs and buttons make up for a nice blend of tradition and modernity. However, it misses out on basic things like ventilated seats, memory settings for the front seats, and a 360-degree camera. But it's in the back where the differences are more apparent.
Now, the drawback with such a body style is that you have to compromise a bit with the convenience of the rear passenger. So what you get is just about a bit of headroom. For reference, I am 5'9" and I've just barely got some headroom. And that obviously is going to affect you on longer journeys. But apart from that, rest of the proportions of the car is pretty much identical to the standard version of the Q3. So you've got a decent amount of knee room. There's also a nice bolstering to the seats, so you're quite comfortable to sit. And you've got a nice amount of under-thigh support as well.
The Sportback retains the adjustable rear bench and both reclines and slides fore and aft. Even the boot space barely changes, however, it loses out slightly when the seats are tumbled over. Audi truly believes in its single petrol option strategy, and that's true of the Q3 Sportback as well. And we must hand it to Audi. The car is exceptional to drive.
And since there are no mechanical changes, the driving dynamics and the mannerisms are pretty much identical to the standard version of the Q3. So you get a very refined, responsive and a very quick engine. So there's no lack of power. Even at higher RPMs, you don't feel that the engine is out of breath, and keeps the momentum going on even till you reach the red line. So that's a very good thing. The steering feedback, I'm very impressed with it. It is quite agile and very nimble to use, even on if you want to drive in the city, even on the highways. It is quite nice to have a grip on, and that also benefits you if you want to take a very quick corner, because that handling is extremely precise and to the point. I quite like the suspension setup on this version as well. It is pretty identical to the standard version, so you don't feel a lot of difference when you're doing high speeds. Even on lower speeds, it performs really well.
Despite its weight, the Q3 manages to jump ahead at tap, accelerate instantly, zip through traffic with ease, and munches miles on the highway without any hiccups. Is there any significant improvement in the Sportback version over its SUV counterpart that justifies the additional premium of 1,04,000 rupees? It does, especially if you're looking for a unique and eye-catching SUV and don't mind paying that premium. Also, considering that the Q3 Sportback doesn't have a direct rival, it will inevitably stand out in the crowd.